Hello, my name is Kate and welcome to my Pan That Palette / Pan Those Eyeshadows video for the month of October. My Pan That Palette for this year is the Too Faced Natural Eyes. Now, if you are familiar with my videos and have watched them before, I regret to inform you that the pleasure of watching pans expand is going to be interrupted this month. We have had a casualty. So, story time. My husband works nights. When he comes home, so my cats might knock over the camera right now. It's usually like a little bit before 8 in the morning. I'm not interested in getting up that early if I don't have to. So while he's like doing his morning things, I move everything I need out of our bedroom into the dining room, living room, which includes my makeup, and that's where I get ready for those days. And I drop this on the kitchen floor. So it looks different than last month. I am very grieved by this. It was kind of a bloodbath. There were 2 shades that I had to pick up the chunks of and repress, and 2 other shades that I ended up repressing because I had to, okay? So this looks different. It makes me very sad. Anyway, this is what our palette is looking like this month. The 2 that just absolutely all over the floor were Silk Teddy and Nudie. I do think I was able to recover most of them because they came off in pretty big chunks. And then Push Up and Honey Pot, I use a sprayer for my rubbing alcohol, and those, they got too involved in the repressing process, and I was like, I have to repress you, I'm sorry. So we have lost our pan that was visible on Honey Pot. You can see we have hit pan on Push Up not only once, but 2 times again this month. So I suppose there is some good that came out of it because 2 pans on the same shadow in a month is very exciting. Anyway, let's talk about these shades. So these 2 have been gone for quite some time. We will start with Sexpresso. This is primarily my eyebrow shade. I've also used this a lot this month as a liner as well as an outer corner shade. I want this thing to be gone, so I've been using it a lot more. Now, when I do use it on my eyes and my brows, I just count it as 1 use for the month. So I have used this month 31 times. Here's what it was looking like last month. And I think that I have really deepened this a lot and taken a lot off of just kind of the whole thing, not just one targeted area. Part of that is just varying the brush that I use in there, and I'm pretty happy with that progress. I've also kept track, if you can see my cats right now, they're boys. All right. There's a box. I have this stacked on boxes, and cats have to be in boxes. You understand. So anyway, I've been keeping track of my usages on all of these since I really got serious about this project. And my best guess for the number of uses of Sexpresso just since I started this project was 171 to get to this point, which is a little ridiculous, but they're Too Faced shades, man. I don't know what to tell you. For Silk Teddy, here's what we were looking like last month. I was so excited to share with you. I hit top pan. I actually should have a picture that shows it a little bit. The first time I hit pan again on Push Up, it was in a perfect little heart, so I took a picture of it, and you can kind of see my progress on Silk Teddy, and I have lost that progress, and it's just very sad to me. This repressed really well, though. It's in a very thin layer on there. I've used this a number of times since repressing it. I have not hit pan again, but I used this a total of 30 times this month, and that puts me at 199 times in total. So we're getting there. I do think I'm going to be able to finish this shade by the end of the year. I use it every day as a highlight, which it works really well for. Keep on keeping on. My next shade is Push Up. I repressed this for the first time last month and again this month. I used this a total of 27 times. Here's what it looked like last month. I have to remember to do that, which makes for a total of 91 in this project. This was also one of my Pan Those Eyeshadows for last month, so I get to put something else in its place. And we're down to a very thin layer in the pan of this. I also think I will be able to use this one up by the end of the year. It's very exciting. Next is Erotica. I used this 20 times this month, and here's what it was looking like last month. I've really been focusing on using this as a liner as well as an outer corner shade more often, and I think similar to Sexpresso, it's really worn down kind of all over the pan. This one I am not going to be able to finish. Wish I could, but I think that is just a little too lofty of a goal. I also hate the formula of both of these on the outside. They're patchy, they don't have a ton of pigment. Sexpresso in particular develops hard pan like nobody's business. This whole palette is very frustrating to me, but I love panning it. I love to hate pan, so anyway. Next up, we have Nudie. I use this 26 times this month, which is actually kind of a low number for me. I use this as like a bronzer contour shade, and it just occurred to me this month to use Push Up now while I actually have a tan and save this a little bit for the coming colder months. It's not going to matter. I think I probably have about a week's worth of usage left in this, but my numbers are down a little bit from what I normally expect in a month, but I didn't anticipate being able to finish this for this update anyway. Probably by next week, this should be gone, certainly by my next update. My best guess is that I've used this in the project 202 times by now, which is crazy, but these bigger pans, these are 2 gram eyeshadows, which is a hefty amount, so I'm impressed with myself. Next up we have Honey Pot, which had a nicely expanding pan on it as well. Here's what she looked like last month, and I only used this 8 times this month. I've been using it as a lower lash line color quite a few times, which I've really enjoyed. I'm wearing it today, but it's not getting loads of fast progress, which is fine. Last up is Chocolate Martini. Here's what she looked like before I depotted her. And you get out of here. You get out of here. Here is what it's looking like today. I'm sorry it's so separated. Burp Boy, no. Our markings here, this is when I first depotted it. That was last month's marking, and here's this month's. I have used it 2 times. I am currently wearing it on my nails. And for those of you that have asked, this is the Sealy Hansen Insta Dry in Clearly Quick, and I just dumped some out, crushed up the polish, and put it in here. And it's been okay. It's not like a great formula. It definitely chipped really fast. I did these like 2 days ago, but I mean, it's another way to use it, and I'm getting more use out of it this way than if it was still in the palette. So, have been enjoying that. And that is it for the Pan That palette. My goals for next month is to hit pan in Silk Teddy again, hopefully hit pan in Honey Pot again, and get rid of Nudie. And that's really it. I don't want to set anything too lofty. I'm a little nervous that this is not going to make the progress by the end of the year that I want it to. I certainly don't think it's going to be entirely gone. But if I could have Push Up, Silk Teddy, and Nudie gone by the end of the year and another pan on Honey Pot, that would make me happy. So, and I think that's very doable. Now, without further ado, let's get into my Pan Those eyeshadows, which is not going to be as exciting this month as I wanted it to be. You have already seen, we'll start out with Push Up. Why not? Because you've already looked at it. Grab a little swatch for you. That I hit pan on it again. It took me 9 uses as an eyeshadow, and after that I stopped tracking it for my Pan Those eyeshadows, so it was fairly easy. That's what she looks like on a swatch. It's not that pretty on the eyes. It looks more like a muted brown. Sorry. But it's a good shade. Yeah, whatever. Next up is Libra from my ABH Carly Bible palette. This is a very nice sort of neutral shade depending on how you use it, but it can also be glammed up a little bit. It comes across as kind of like a cool toned purpley mauve in the swatch, but it definitely looks a little more gray in the pan. Here she is, no pan this month, but a very good dip going on. last month I had used this 15 times, and this month I only used it 5 times. But I think that is pretty decent progress. My rules for this project are that I want to use things for 3 months and 30 uses before I can roll it out. We are currently sitting at 20 uses, and I do have to have this in for another month before I could roll it out anyway, which is fine. So certainly next month we will either have pan on this or be able to roll it out. Next is another color from the same palette. This is Moo, which is a nice highly foiled gold shimmer. I'm wearing that on my eyes today. Last month we also used this 15 times, and this month I have put another 10 uses on it, and I really hoped when I did my makeup this morning I would hit pan for you guys on this shadow, and I didn't, but it's close. That is a deep dip there. So to be able to roll this out, I only have to use it 5 more times, but I think I will hit pan by that 5th use at the very least. This is a wonderful shade. It's a great formula that I really enjoy. I do feel like having this in this project is kind of taking away from use on Honey Pot. So my plan, because I only have at most 5 more uses in this, when I have either hit those uses or hit pan, I'm going to roll Honey Pot into its place, and to just replace it in the quad. So that will certainly happen by next update, but I don't want to wait and kind of miss out on the opportunity to push myself for some more usage on Honey Pot. So that's my plan there. Lastly, we have a ColourPop shadow. This is, to my best guess, chances are from Just My Luck. I bought it with kind of a Franken palette off of Mercari. So this is what it looks like in the swatch. It's this very pale, cool matte green with a little bit of silver sparkles in it. Here's what she's looking like. A good size dip going in there, but definitely no pan. So I have used this month 5 times, making for a total of 14 in this project. Would mean I have to use it 16 times to be able to roll it out next month. Would I hit pan in 16 uses? I don't know. ColourPop mattes in particular are very hard to hit pan on, and this is just not really what I want to use this time of year. I do have to use a lot of it to be able to build up any intensity. I do enjoy wearing this over top of another ColourPop shade that I have, and if you can tell me what the name of this color is, that would be phenomenal. But it's this very dark matte right here. It's not black. I will swatch it for you because it's so pretty. It's a very transformative shadow, but it's almost like this like bluey green, and I like to do that all over the lid and then top, chances are, on top of it, and it makes for this kind of like, doesn't show it there, but like a foresty green that's a little bit more wearable, a little grungy for fall. So I do think I can get some good use on this over the next month. But yes, that was the quad that we have been working with. So Moo is going to get a very similar shade rolled in its place, but I'm a little bored with this color story, so I do want to roll something else in. I have already set up some rolls for this. There is a pressed glitter in this ColourPop palette I do not want to work on. And then from my Carly Bible palette, I don't want to use anything like Bowley, Bear, or Bowie that's too similar to my Too Faced shades. And that's all I have for eyeshadows. I only own 3 palettes. I have a shadow stick that's in my Rolling Project pan, and that's it. So we will primarily just, well, yeah, no, it's just going to be from these 2 palettes. So I have my random number generator up here, and we are going to be rolling from shades 1 to 14 and see what we get. I would love to get any one of these 3 mattes I've been wearing daily. So let's see. 3. Oh no. No, I don't want that one. 3 would be 1, 2, Skip Libra, And that is Jode from the Carly Bible palette. This is a gorgeous color. The formula is the same as Libra. It's very smooth. It's very nice and easy to work with. Very pigmented and pretty. It's just not the kind of color I want to wear this time of year. It's almost like this denim blue. Okay. This might just be like a long-term usage goal. But that's fine because I want to get use on my whole collection, and it's not a shade I typically reach for. I can pull up my little list to tell you I have used Jode 6 times since I acquired this palette. And here's what we are looking like to start off. Tiny little dip in there to begin with, but all right. That is everything for this update. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to everybody that's commented and liked and everything. It's just very sweet. I do this because it's like accountability for me and I enjoy it. And it's cool to know other people also enjoy watching and tagging along. So that is all I've got for you today. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye.